Meta Madness once again. Guys, it's Fnatic versus TeamLiquid. Again, if you're not familiar with the rules, it's pretty simple. It's a best of 5 series that we currently have between Fnatic and TeamLiquid. Breeze was trying to be a little bit funny when he put the name in for the opponent's team. And Dragonshire is our first map. Heroes that are banned in this best of 5 are not only banned for the next map, they are banned for the entire series. Meaning that if it comes to a 5th map, that we have in total 20 heroes banned out. So good old Sonya, for example, and also Uther are never going to make an appearance in this entire best of 5, which is going to be pretty crazy since it forces the teams out of their comfort zone into a bit of different strategies here. And we've actually already seen a pretty amazing series between 89 and the Crying Cox, and right now we have Liquid versus Fnatic, which should be absolutely fantastic as well. One of the things that's definitely to highlight here is that a few of the teams have already been thinking about how are we actually doing this? Are we just banning out healers the entire time, or what's going to happen here? Illidan comes through the draft. That alone is already a bit crazy. And Liquid is taking an early Rhaegar. They banned Uther. They seem to be going into a Rhaegar here. Taking that away from Illidan is of course never a bad idea. At least going into game number 1, we normally see a pretty normal draft still. But seeing Illidan actually going through the draft is already kind of crazy. So Liquid here with the Kel'Thas. Doesn't really surprise too much, to be honest with you. I mean, Kel'Thas alone is already an absolute beast, and if you then have also Illidan in your lineup, that's a bit too strong. So Liquid is taking Kel'Thas away, claiming him for themselves, and that means Tassadar for Fnatic. Liquid had a toss-up situation here. Pick Kel'Thas, they pick Tassadar, they pick Kel'Thas, like one of the two. You have very little choice here. So Fnatic with an Illidan Tassadar, and as a support, they can throw a Charism in there if they want to have the palm. They have quite a few options of how they can run this right now. But Liquid, what do they have planned to deal with Illidan? I mean, they must have some kind of plan here, right? Fnatic, on the other hand, I mean, they have the Illidan, they have Tassadar. And I want to highlight, by the way, that Fnatic is playing with a sub-player here today. Quacknix is currently on vacation with his girlfriend and is tweeting pictures the entire time, which are absolutely amazing. Not of his girlfriend, but of, like, the area where they went to, where they are vacationing. I have no idea where, I just saw the pictures, and it looks, like, awesome. Like, sunny and everything, so yeah. I'm pretty jealous, but that also means that he can't play here right now. And Fnatic wants to dive pretty deep. Nuborak and Illidan already in the setup, and let's see what Liquid is banning out there. Are they banning for this map, or are they just like trying to get as many healers out there as they possibly can? I mean, in this case, yes, they banned Charism. Alright, so...
A worthy tribute, minion.
Brian,
carry.
Thank you very much for the support, bro. But this is going to be pretty fun, because in the last series we saw, at least in the first game, no healers banned out. In this case, though, 2 are already gone. And Zagara and Sonya are both banned out now as well. Now, this is starting to get interesting already. Like, thinking about map 2. I mean, we have map number 1, which is an interesting draft as well. But, like, especially for map 2, this is going to become a bit crazy with Uther and Charism already gone. So, yeah. Liquid, they have a Kel'Thas. They have a Rhaegar. They could still go... I mean, they could go for...
Thank you kindly.
Moin Khaldor, ik Walter NUR minen bro paranoid grussen. WIRCNUNS Morgan BEI mine a Hochzeit. Dem rest want Shurikeinen Skonen a bend under. Garten shim I feel spasmip dem text to speech.
Alright, so the text to speech is not really able to speak German apparently, but yeah. Shout out to Paranoid, apparently a bro of our supporter here. The bot was trying, but it kind of failed a little bit there. Arthur's taken for Liquid now. So, we are in a situation in which they are... Oh, they play the Gazlow! And Thero has already told me that he has a couple of special strategies prepared for this one. And they go for the Gazlow. Alright, I am already sold, boys. We have Brightwing. What are they gonna go for? The Haka Nova. This is already getting insane. Like, they know what... they know what the audience wants, right? We are seeing the Gazlow. And Liquid, I mean, Athera has told me from the start, dude, I have some crazy shit for this. And yeah, I can tell. So on Dragonshire, we see the Gazlow. And we have double support ban, which is going to make the next round, rounds incredibly exciting. Fnatic is thinking about Brightwing. Not really a bad choice. Brightwing Tassadar is actually pretty solid. Has been run in Korea a while ago with an Illidan as well. And you have the global presence, of course, that you can use as well. And yeah, well, Medivh unfortunately is not able to be picked here, so Fnatic can troll all they want, but that's definitely not going to be the last pick. It is still a bit crazy to see all of this, though. Having the Gazlow in the game is going to give them, of course, like point control, and on Dragonshire, that's not a bad thing. I was expecting to see a Gazlow maybe like in the 5th game. I didn't really expect to see him in the 1st game. But they let Illidan through the draft. And basically, that already tells you that they have something crazy prepared. And Falstad right now is apparently the last choice for Fnatic. We have seen crazy attempts with like Gazlow Thrall with Earthquake and stuff like that in the past. What exactly Liquid has currently planned, I don't know, but I know that I'm excited for it. Lunara and Falstad, it's a bit of a toss-up I suppose, but Falstad is just crazy with the global presence, and if Brightwing jumps after him with the phase shift, that can of course be pretty sweet as well. So the last pick, it's time for the last pick here for our first map, Dragonshire, Fnatic versus Liquid. Who's it gonna be? What are we gonna see there? They could go for a bit more melee, I suppose. Like, every time I see a Gazlow, I want to see a Zeratul, I don't know. Vikings, alright. Vikings Gazlow. Like, I have no idea what they have planned, but this looks like a lot of control on the map, and boys, like, it's not what I expected going into game number 1, and I guess you didn't expect that either, but this is what we wanted. Let's find out what's gonna happen here. Game number 1, Fnatic versus Liquid. Game number 1 in the Meta Madness series, and well guys, the madness has already hit. It's only the first game and we are already entering Crazy Town. To the left side we have Fnatic with Breeze on an Uburak. Wooby is playing Illidan. Crosby is currently subbing in for Quacknix, who's currently on a vacation as mentioned before. He's playing Tassadar, Smexy on Brightwing, and Shrimpy on Falstad. A pretty normal draft for them, but then you look at Team Liquid and all of a sudden things are going immediately south. Shadow on the Lost Vikings, Chris on Arthur's, wait, what? Rhaegar played by Gerd, we have Ethereal Angel playing the Gas Lord, and Kel'Thas is played by Sport Billy. So, yeah, things definitely hit a new stage. Level 1, Scrap-O-Matic Smelter, the mana restoration from Scrap has been claimed here. We have on the side of Falstad an auto-attack build aiming straight for that Season Marksman. We're going to keep close eyes on that as well. But with the Vikings here in play, of course, it's going to be a lot of control. And the one-man wrecking crew is at the bot lane. Ethereal, he has promised a lot of crazy things for this. He said, like, Khaldor, you know what? We're gonna go crazy. And I'm like, dude, you still are supposed to try hard, you know that. And he's like, oh yeah, don't worry. You're gonna see some crazy stuff, but we have confidence in that. Gerd is already, look at Gerd! He's already trolling Fnatic here, going for the dance, the doggy dances. Well, don't get too excited, Gerd. You guys haven't won anything just yet. He puts the pressure on Smexy now. Breeze already eats the flames of Sport Billy, but we have once again the Gas Lord in the middle of things with the stuns here as well. Like, I haven't seen a Gazlow in a competitive game in like absolute ages, and this is already shaping up to be quite a bit of fun. At the top lane, we're seeing the Vikings dealing with Wooby on his Illidan. Illidan, of course, on level 1, going straight into the immolation. Shat already waiting for the control to be taken. And for Illidan, it's actually going to be really difficult to claim the shrine, because every single time he moves in, his lane is going to be pushed, he moves out, the shrine is taken. There's just like too much pressure with all these buddies against him. Already, both of those temples, or both of the shrines, activated by Liquid. But still, at the top lane, Illidan is starting to chase Eric. Shat is getting away, but Illidan, at least for now, claims control over the shrine. It doesn't take anything away from the bot lane, though, where we see Ethereal Angel really putting the pressure. And Smexy is about to fall. It barely gets away there. But especially Gazlow can now start to push this in quite a bit. When it comes to pressure against the lane, this is really, really strong what we're seeing here, especially with Sport Billy as well. Crosby has to rotate in there, trying to get the kill, and down goes the Gas Lord. First blood in the game. Nice rotation from the mid lane. Arthur's, of course, for a moment here alone then, and Chris is trying to make sure that he gets the additional experience, but still Crosby is back in time to help out with this. Both of the shrines now in the hands of the blue team. Crosby is starting to move in. Underking has been used here already. And well, with Underking, we have, of course, like a huge amount of dive ability that we're getting there. At the same time, we're seeing a Mercenary Lord taken. Nice rotation with Shrimpy moving in. Chris is low, heals himself. Sport Billy helping him out though, but Smexy is there. Gerd for the heals, and the B-step on Chris already. Double shrine, this time under the control of the red team, and they are really going toe-to-toe here. Wooby at the top lane is reclaiming the shrine as is, and in the meantime, Gazlow at the bot lane has by now claimed his next talents. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Alright, so you have a lot more scrap there. And I mean, if you think about Scrap right now and everything of how Gazlow works, it's a massive amount of lane sustain that he has. He can really get like a lot of mana back that allows him to stay on lane for a long time. Oh, they kill against him. Yeah, baby, they're dancing a little bit too early there. So, yeah, that is the second kill and a 2-0 already. For that, Illidan is apparently trying to invade the camp. Chris is there. Falstad flies in too. They're about to steal it away, and they get it. Like, very good read by Whoopi. Incredibly strong read by Whoopi. He realized what was happening. He moved in, and they steal the camp away. This is perfect for them. Fnatic definitely currently showing TeamLiquid at this point how it's done. But I mean, the game is far from being over just yet. Gazlow with the bonk at the bot lane. Breeze realizing that he won't be able to do too much here. The static shield for Falstad, not going for the hammer gains. And everybody's just dancing in this game. I mean, Breeze on the Nubarak is doing the same thing. Gad has already been hopping around on his wolf for quite some time. The level 7 hits much faster now for Fnatic. We're seeing them with Kala's Embrace, Reflexive Block, Titanium's Plating has been our chosen too. And at the top lane, there's still the pressure going on since, of course, that camp was stolen earlier. The Vikings had to defend against it. A lot of like ammunition drained on the towers. The wall is lost. So, top lane, definitely under a lot of pressure, no doubt about it. Gazlow, by the way, going straight for the hyper-focus coils. So you charge your laser a lot faster. That can, of course, help for the level 20 then later on as well, which is going to be absolutely brutal if they get this far. Rune tap for Arthurs. Balog, again, focused here, going for the attack speed increase as well. Especially when you go for the explosive attacks and the level 7, then you can get a lot of pressure out with Balog as is, though. So that's definitely an interesting choice here for the level 7 talent on Shad. And he is currently dealing with Illidan at the top. But Shad loses one of the Vikings, and Whoopi knows fully well that with one tower out of ammunition, he has a very good shot at just taking these guys down, especially with minions still soaking shots from the fort itself. Breeze now with a control attempt at the bot lane. Shrimpy even moving in. And even with all of those turrets away, there's just nothing that they can do about it. Mid lane is getting pressured. Gazlow gets the damage in, but it's just simply not enough to take control of the shrine. Top lane on the other hand. Oh, Whoopi goes down before Brightwing can fly in, and Shad reclaimed one of the shrines. A pretty fun game so far. 2 kills against 1. Doesn't really sound like much, but overall we had a pretty fun situation here already. Shrimpy, keep in mind, is also gonna get a lot of stacks here for a season marksman with the Vikings alone. If he can take those down, or at least be close by, then he's going to get a lot of stacks for the season marksman and might be able to complete that very fast. He's already at 18 extra damage. We're only 6 minutes into the game. Oh my god! Chris! Sport Billy, sorry. He goes down. That was bit weird, like, yeah, a bit of a misplay there. Shrimpy with a very nice pickup. Of course, again, we're having the shrines just like traded, bottom for top, so that works at least for now. Bot lane, attempt again, once more by Shrimpy and Smexy to claim maybe the second one too. Bit unlikely that they're gonna get that, especially with Aethero just dropping turrets everywhere. We're seeing level 10s coming into play, and with the Locust Swarm now, pretty much standard talents for the red team, or for the blue team. Oh, Shrimpy locked down in tower range. That was a bit awkward, but they still get the kill against Chris. Shad, on the other hand, with a play again, jumping in. Gazlow going for the grabber bomb here. No Robo-Goblin, sad face, but the kill against, yes, one of the Vikings. Job well done, and well, with this, it's even more stacks that we are seeing now for Falstad in his auto attacks with the season marksman. We're seeing again at the top lane, Shad trying to at least reclaim one of the shrines so that he can buy a bit of time. Bot lane, Rhaegar has been trying to hold it for as long as he can. But now we have, of course, the Gravel Bomb. And Gravel Bomb, that will be interesting with the Phoenix play. Oh, Gazlow, 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 and yes, he gets it. Illidan is too late at the top. Gazlow is immediately punting Shrimpy away, and they are trying to go straight for the first board. They're actually incredibly close in experience. If you think about the kill count here, 5 against 1, and then you look at the experience as is, we are still seeing them very close. But it's an early Dragonite only, and of course you can burst those down quite easily, and that's exactly what happens here. Gazlow needs to be careful. I mean, he has the Gravel Bomb ready, so that's something. Yeah, there it is. And is he going for it? Yeah, doesn't really have to. Everybody's there, though. He could have tried, I guess. Well, for now, we are seeing still Illidan trying to do his thing. Aethero putting the damage in. Let's talk a little bit about damage. Gazlow right now, top damage dealer for the team with 25,000. And also 54,000 siege damage. Just saying, Gazlow, new meta. Right there, you heard it here first. At the top lane, Whoopi is still trying to deal with Eric, and he's barely getting away. But you can really tell that this lane is suffering a lot. Oh, Shrimpy actually wants the kill. Doesn't get it, though. Very well played by Shat here. Job well done. Even forces out the mighty gust of Shrimpy, and Shrimpy got lucky that the fort doesn't have any ammunition anymore. That could have backfired fast. The level 13 talent is another thing that we definitely have to keep close tabs on, because like right now it's very, very close. Fourth, and great dodge by Whoopi. Well played here. Very well done. Metamorphosis straight in. They're trying to go for Sport Billy. Here is the Phoenix. Sport Billy is still dying though. Gazlow not around for the grabber bomb in this case. They might go for Chris. Grabber bomb locked down, but it's not enough. Great force wall. Chris is about to fall, but he gets the counter kill against the Nubarak. Really well played. Good job here on the side of Chris. He knew that he would go down, but at least he gets a counter kill. Once again, pressure in. 13 has been reached. Nice bot lane pressure also. Thanks to Seasoned Marksman, Shat is doing very solid work with those two siege giants that he took earlier. We already have Flow Rider taken, so it looks a little bit like we're having a bit of a hybrid build here for Shrimpy, and he is really getting the kills against the Vikings. I mean, it's 13 versus 13 right now in talents. That gives us jump on the Vikings. We're seeing also now the tidal waves taken. Gazlow with sprint, actually. Repositioning is going to be absolutely crucial for ENTIRE on his Gazlow here. But at the same time, there's the Fidget Winds. We are also not seeing the 13 talent yet for Brightwing. But the Flow Rider, Eric Gust might be an option on level 16. Even now, though these days we have usually a bit of a different setup for most Pulsar players. It's usually just the Afterburner that you go for. Again, Shat is just like sitting there, trying to push in, but Breeze is already on the point, trying to claim that. Shrimpy comes in, trying to take him down. He wants more stacks for Seasoned Marksman. He's very likely to get it at this point. Shat is running, and he is going to die eventually, which is exactly what happens. After Whoopi took apart the top lane, he's now working on the mid lane. So he's basically just shifting the focus of attention from one lane to another. In the meantime, Gazlow at the top is also trying to do his thing, getting some extra damage in, making sure that he gets the TNT ready every single time a wave comes in. But Breeze is already thinking about trying to die for him. Bot lane pressure still. Shat is still there. And yeah, well, he can jump as much as he wants, but in the end he's going to fall. Shrimpy therefore just like stacking it up. We are 10 minutes into the game and Shrimpy's on 33 extra damage. He needs 7 more and he is going to get his Seasoned Marksman completed and can rely on the auto attack as well. Nice dodge here on the Gravity Labs. Sport Billy is now moving in. Top lane with the Vikings. At the bot lane, everybody else trying to push them back here. Gazlow on the move. 15 versus 14 now in levels. And nice pressure play by Shat. I like that a lot. But overall, the problem really for Fnatic is, for TeamLiquid, is that they don't get any kills. They got a counter kill against the Nubarak a bit earlier. They got one kill before that. But overall, it's just not working out as they intended. Nice move by Shrimpy and Breeze. They go again for Shat. Vikings are lost all over the place. I mean, you can really tell that like Shat has an awful time keeping them alive. You can't even blame him. I mean, he is constantly under pressure by either Illidan or Falstad. So it's very, very little that you can actually do about this. So right now we're having, Olaf killed again. Once again showcasing how problematic this is right now. ENTIRE Angel. Yeah, well, they're trying to go for the stun, but the camp is stolen already. I love the read that we have on Fnatic. Fnatic has actually great reads on the situation. Every single time heroes are missing on the map, they immediately realize it and jump onto the camps and say, guys, there's very little that our opponent can do right now. Let's make sure that we get that. So, in this case, we have Crosby on the Dragon Knight at this point and starting to move in now too. With him pushing through the bot lane, they are very likely to not only go through the wall, but also like getting one of the forts again. The level 16 talent, and as expected, we see Arigast taken. And we have also Epicenter. So Breeze is going to have a massive impact. I mean, like, no pun, but like, he's really just trying to go deep, get the stun in, and then follow it up, of course, with his Impale. And that's going to be pretty brutal for the backline, especially Sport Billy if he's hit by that, or ENTIRE Angel if he can't activate Sprint fast enough. And the pressure from Fnatic is definitely pretty brutal. When it comes to damage dished out so far, Gazlow is still taking the top lane on the side of TeamLiquid. But overall, the hero hasn't really worked out to an extent where they can really be happy with it. Eric is dead once again, and by this point, by this time we have already Shrimpy about to hit his Seasoned Marksman. Gad is finally on level 16 as well, which allows him to go for the Earthgrass Totem, which we just saw in action here. Crosby is now being pushed back. 16 versus 16 talents, another punt against Chad, and Chad is trying to save Olaf. Jumps away. gets that on. Gazlow, by the way, with a Goblin Fusion right now. So that is a massive amount of damage that you can dish out now with the laser. And keep in mind, he went for the reduction in the charge on level 7. So the synergy there is definitely strong. Remorseless Winter, Frigid Winds, very huge focus on the Frozen Tempest. And keep once again in mind that level 20, when we are going to see additional lasers being shot by the turrets as well, ENTIRE Angel can actually get a huge boost in damage output. And he's already doing a lot of damage. The problem is it's not really that targeted damage that you oftentimes want. I mean, even if there's just a tower standing somewhere and dishing a bit of it out, that counts as well, and over time that can oftentimes be quite annoying. Chris is moving in, tries to go for the root, gets it, but there's no follow-up. That's a bit unfortunate. Gerd gets taken down. Yeah, you can't Ancestral Heal yourself anymore. That's long past. And here comes the jumping. Great move by Schwimpy. A good gust flying behind the opponent's team. They are looking for a wipe. Sport Billy is definitely going to die. He is down. They get Gazlow, and now they go straight for Chris. On his Arthurs, he's about to be taken apart as well. It's a quad kill. Only the Vikings survive. They get still a bit of damage done at the top and can push the lanes in, but 2 levels behind, this is more or less telling the tale. Shad, with his only hero surviving with Balog, is actually claiming camps right now and is taking that hard camp easily. He's taking the night camp all on his own, so at least he gets that done. The problem is that the opponent is already on the core. You see them going through the keep and they go straight for the core. They have level 19.5, and Fnatic is known to know when they can end the game. Sometimes it doesn't really work out for them, but normally they're very good at calling these core kills, and that's exactly what they do here. They claim number 1, they want the pizza money, and they get the lead in the best of 5 series here at Meta Madness. Alright boys, we have the bans coming in, and well, it's game number 2 between Fnatic. I have no idea why exactly they gave themselves the name, but they are the blue team. They go up against TeamLiquid. Sky Temple is map number 2, Fnatic is in the lead, and we have even more bans on the supports. Tacita is banned out by TeamLiquid. As you can see up at the top, we already have Karazim and Uther banned, and they actually ban Rhaegar. So supports are starting to become a very rare commodity here. Illidan is taken again by Liquid this time. The problem is, who are you going to pick to support that bad boy? Because, well, Fnatic, they just picked Brightwing away. And now all of a sudden, you are starting to run out of supports. We still have a few around. We are only in game 2, so we still have a couple of supports there, and Fnatic hasn't even locked down Brightwing yet. They seem to go for maybe a Lily. Blinding Wind can actually be pretty solid against Illidan. It's a very interesting thing to say, considering that we are having a Lily as a first pick here potentially on the side of Fnatic, and they actually lock her down, so the meta madness is real. I wasn't quite sure if it was the proper name to use for the entire series, but to be honest with you, the more games we cast here, the more I think it was it was well named. If they go Lily Brightwing, oh my god. Fnatic goes Lily Brightwing, and Liquid, are they going to play Morales? I mean, do you play Morales here with Illidan? You could play Malfurion. There's Tyrande there. Varian, thank you for the sub, my friend. But yeah, there's a Tyrael first. Oh, old school style. Tyrael Illidan. Nice, I like it. Okay. Abathar Greymane maybe? In the end, a Falstad first of all is never a wrong choice, or never a bad choice on Sky Temple. I mean, Sky Temple is an amazing map for that. But yeah, let's see. We have more bans coming in, so guys. Oh, come on, they really ban out all the supports. Guys, this is going to get insane if we get to a 5th map. Even a 4th map is going to get crazy here. So Malfurion is about to be banned out, and like, I don't know. This is getting nuts. Are they doing it, or are they switching it around? I mean, there's a couple of... You could also focus on banning out frontliners, by the way. Like, tanks are in a very similar situation. They ban Morales? When was the last time you've seen a Morales ban? Okay, so let's see. Are they... Yes, they do it. They ban Morales, and what is Liquid banning out now? I'm very, very curious what Liquid bans at this point. I mean, Sky Temple, like, what are you getting rid of here? You have a double heal for your opponent. They kind of still need everything. But, oh, come on. they ban Malfurion. Liquid is basic. What? No way! They want to go all support? I guess it makes sense that can actually win, especially if your opponent doesn't have a support left. There's nothing else to pick. They're thinking about picking Tyrande where they can spec her for damage. Why not? Who else is there? There's nothing. There is nothing. Guys, they go Brightwing, Tyrande, Lily because they know that Liquid doesn't have a support anymore. Liquid has to Abathur. I would say Abathur. I like Chromie, I take her, but I would say Abathur so that you have at least something. Liquid banned Malfurion. Next round we have 3 supports left and that's it. Oh. No way. Okay, they take Chromie. They take Chromie first and Abathur. As I said, Abathur. That has to be it. They have to go for Abathur. Oh my god, this is awesome. No, you can't play Liming here. You need something. Okay, so they're basically just saying like we go full YOLO. To be honest, before I take Liming, I would probably take Greymane. Like, if you want to go full damage without anything that can support you in the slightest, then go Greymane here. Greymane wasn't banned out, right? No, he wasn't. I feel Greymane that can, or Zeratul, something that can go deep and put the damage in. I actually think Zeratul, even with the vision that is provided by the heroes on the other side, wouldn't be a bad choice. They go Li Ming, and there's the... no way they go Abathur. I mean, come on. Zeratul, yeah, I could see that more. Against Li Ming and Chromie, but they have a frontliner. Breeze needs to play something. Oh, Zeratul, I can see that. Baraka can see that too, but Zeratul against Li Ming and Chromie and Falstad, I can definitely see that happening. I'm not quite sure if Breeze is willing to play that though. That's the one thing that I don't know. Arthas is currently being looked at, and I suppose Breeze is going to be happy with it. Arthas is never going to die. With the triple support, how are you going to kill Arthas? Like, how are you going to kill Arthas? You have to bore him to death. That's the only thing that works. Guys, like, things are crazy. Sky Temple game number 2. Fnatic is going up against Team Liquid. We're going to jump right in, and let's see what the triple support against no support can do. Game number 2, everybody, and Fnatic is in the lead. So once again, if you're not familiar with the rules here, heroes are banned for the entire best of 5, not only for the map, which is why we always end up in crazy situations. And for some reasons, both of these teams are focused on heavily banning out supports, which results in a crazy draft for game number 2 already. Gerdam Hertz to the left for Team Liquid on Falstad. Sport Billy on Li Ming. We're having Aethera Angel on Tyrael. Chris on Chromie. And Shat on Illidan. No supports in the bunch. To the right side of the map, Crosby on Khaldor for Fnatic. Breeze on Arthas. Crosby the stand-in for Quacknix here today, who's on vacation. Shrimpio Tyrande. Wooby on Brightwing. And Smexy is playing Lily. And, well, for now, we are going to find out how that triple support is going to work against no support. Because the one thing that I really want to highlight here, once again, is that it was actually a pretty smart draft on the side of Fnatic. They started with a double support, and from the get-go, they had the idea, guys, we're just going to pick all of the supports away. And Team Liquid helped them by banning out even more supports. So all of a sudden, we're not only in a crazy situation heading into Game 3, we are in an insane Game 2. We have on level 1 for Tyrande, still Empower. We're seeing Gathering Storm taken, Force Armor, Purge Evil, Compounding Ether. And guys, at this point, basically, Team Liquid has to go all out. They have to go in, they have to just simply say, boys, we're going to wreck those guys a new one, and we're going to do it fast, because if not, these supports are going to keep all of them alive until eternity. The thing is, how is Arthas going to die? Can somebody please explain? Well, first of all, Illidan is going to die. Psst, goodbye, my friend. Feel the hate of 10,000 years, and Breeze is already dancing. The thing is, how is he ever going to die? I honestly don't know. If he goes for Army of the Dead and goes for anything that just resembles a sustain build on Arthas with 3 supports behind him, how can this guy die? I don't think that he can, even if he tried. I mean, we're going to find out, I suppose. But Fnatic is already in the lead. And, I mean, there's quite a bit of pizza money on the line here. $100 for a best of 5. Of course, in the future, if we run more tournaments like this, or more like events like this, we're talking show matches here today, and we're going to increase the prize pool as well. But so far, a lot of people here are having quite a lot of fun. Smexy is not having a lot of fun at the top lane against these two, though, and nearly taken out. Get, by the way, that's probably the upside for him. He doesn't have to play support this time. Get was actually in the past also an assassin player, which is something that probably a lot of people don't know. Already, we're seeing Chris trying to get his damage in, and of course, Chromie gets her talents a little bit faster than everybody else. So he goes for Bronze Talons here, which is also going to be a really cool tool to just get even more damage in. I'm very curious to see how this is going to work out for them. On level 4, we're seeing Vigorous Assault, so at least a little bit of sustain. ENTIRE is saying, boys, I have my shield, I have a little bit of sustain here as well, and he's going to try and use that. And Chris is actually doing work here. Oh, the kill against ENTIRE, barely happening, but it does. Yeah, first kill here. Chris now with his traps as well. But Chromie, oh, taken down. Breeze goes in and goes for the dance again. The trolling is real in this one. But like, jokes aside for a moment. Look at the damage that we're seeing on Chromie. 7,500. That's more than twice the damage that Arthas currently has for the opponent's team. Nobody else is anywhere close to this. Falstead dying, and it really feels like we're seeing TeamLiquid going down in flames here. At least at this point, it looks very much like they're going to struggle against this. Crosby is getting solid damage in at the same time. Entire talent setup that comes for the opponent is just too strong. Triple support against no support. Doesn't really look like they are going to have anything to do here. Well, we have at this point already the Möbius loop being used. So the reduction, this is pretty much a standard talent that you see at level 7, at least from other player. So with the bronze talents here, with like compounding ether and already hitting like a fair amount of those, we're seeing at least Chromie doing quite some solid damage. 11 hits already secure, so that's actually like very fast for Chris here, doing a very good job on this. The problem is they still have not secured a single kill, and they are actually supposed to at least get a few of those in. The problem is they just don't have the sustain, and with 3 healing heroes or healers against them, it's just such a massive sustain, especially with Arthas at the front line, that it's very tricky for the opponent to do anything about that. There's the cleanse on Lily. I mean, of course, by now she finally has one. It helps her a lot. We're seeing the Sunfire enchantment even taken right now. Okay, so a bit of an adjustment here. Going basically for a bit more of a damage build here now too. Immortal Coil and the Death Lord. So really a lot of self-sustain for Arthas, at least up to this point still. And Brightwing goes for a full heal build here now too, even with the Peekaboo as the level 4 talent. We're seeing after the Pierce on 4 for Tyrande, now also the extra range on the Lunar Flare. So overall a very solid setup. But Illidan with the Hunter's Onslaught. So you get at least a few talents here on the side of TeamLiquid that are designed to just heal and give them a bit of safety. The problem is that it's nothing compared to what we're seeing for the opponent. I expect that Lily in this setup is going to go for the Water Dragon. I would be surprised to not see Starfall for Tyrande. And those are pretty solid damage elements that you can actually take. So even the supports will be able to dish out quite some DPS. The problem really is that I'm not quite sure how Fnatic, how TeamLiquid is currently planning on healing that up. 13 hits, by the way, secured for the level 1 talent on Chromie. Chris is so far doing quite well here, but he's usually doing the most work when there's one of the temples up, and now with the temple activating at the bot lane, there's actually a chance for him. There are a couple of globals available though on the map. We have Brightwing, we have a Falstad, so that really helps. Zero soaking a little bit. Falstad could fly down, but so could Brightwing, of course. Zero can also like jump away in these situations. But at this point, it really feels like TeamLiquid is at least doing a solid job with experience. I mean, considering how the game went so far and how much the pressure they often... Oh, ho, ho! Smexy is about to fall. Down goes Lily. So far, Panda. We're having the ult on, of course, Chromie ready on level 9, as is. But this is actually starting to shape up to be a very interesting fight down here. At the top lane, there's another camp pushing in. The Bruiser camp that was taken earlier, that's definitely helping. And down here, the problem is still sustained. The longer these fights last, the more problematic it is for TeamLiquid. Level 10s are there. TeamLiquid is still going in, since Lily is not with the opponent just yet. And we're having especially Chris trying to get the extra damage in. Breeze is dancing around the spot, trying to secure position. But we're having again Chromie with the hits, and he is hitting hard. 19 already hit, very well done. I have to say that Chris is currently really rocking his hero here. He hasn't completed the quest talent yet, but he's incredibly close, and we're only 6.5 minutes into the game. A couple of shots are not soaked now. Fnatic was faster, but both of the teams are now on level 10. So as you can see here, 19 hits already with this, so he's very, very close of actually completing it. And with the heroic abilities, we have also the Hinterland Blast. Falset is going full damage. As I said before, they need to end these fights fast. They really need to end them fast, and that's what they're trying to do here. Breeze, oh, gets away. Too much heal. Illidan comes in, and it's the hunt, ladies. It's not only the hunt, it's also judgment, but it's not enough, and that's a double kill against them. They're trying to get some damage in, but it's unfortunate for them that they can't secure a single kill. 8 kills against 1, but they are going old school style here. Who does still remember when we are seeing not only the hunt, but when we have Judgment Hinterland Blast? That was like the composition in beta. In alpha, actually, even already. And they actually couple it on top of that with a disintegrate and with the hunt. It's a pure snipe comp. And they are not as far behind as it might seem at this point. Especially with Chromie. Boys, if you lock a target down with first of all like Judgment and then Chromie, Hinterland Blast and Disintegrate hit, how can anything survive? Once again, they're jumping in. Illidan is there trying to use his hunt once more. Nearly completed also the level 1 talent on the side of Chris. So these guys have some potential with this. It might look like a super troll draft, but this is scary. This is some scary stuff here. 8 kills against 1, granted. The problem is, once they lose heroes, Fnatic is in trouble. And yeah, there we go. That's exactly what we need to talk about. Temporal Loop being chosen, and there is so much burst damage on a single target, and it's very scary. You can't really keep those guys alive. Think about it for a moment. What do we have in heals? It's only heal over time. There's no Charism. There's no Divine Shield Uther. We don't have a Rhaegar with Ancestral. Meaning that if once somebody is really being attacked, you kind of need to try your hardest to keep him alive, and that's not going to be easy for them. That might sound a bit silly, but look at the experience for a second. TeamLiquid is ahead! Alright, they lose Li Ming right now, and they're going to lose more than that, because this is definitely not the fight that they want to fight. This is definitely not working out for them, fights like this. Their fights are, they need to engage. TeamLiquid need fights where they are the ones engaging. They need to call the shot. They need to use the Judgment Hinterland Blast. They need to jump in with a hunt. If they get caught somewhere on the map, that's exactly the fight that they can't afford to fight. So this is actually going to be pretty awesome. Right now, Hinterland Blast, Judgment, that's going to be brutal. Disintegrate after, the hunt as well. Chromie with all of her hits, by the way, completed. Compounding Ether right now with the extra damage, so that's going to be pretty damn awesome for them. Level 13 talent, soon enough. Look at the top lane. Shad moving away. Oh, Shad, a little bit too close. Yeah, and that's the kill against Chromie. They can't fight like this. Against like all 3 of those, it's just too much. They don't have the burst damage that they really need. Yes, Chromie is great, but it's just not enough in a situation like this. They need to wait until they really have a better setup. They all die right now. Fnatic is taking these fights, and the problem is that TeamLiquid is actually engaging into a battle even though they don't have the level 13 talent. Only Chromie has the extra talent because she is a bit ahead of times, but at the same time, they need more than that. And going down right now with Ethereal here as well and dying now as well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, they have actually a setup that can work. I'm not even joking. That can actually work, but not if they fight like this. They were the entire time absolutely alright in experience. They were absolutely okay. But right now, they are not anymore. They might get the kill against Shrimpy, maybe, with this integrate now. Yeah, there's the hits, but they fight again with only 3 heroes. And now the rest starts to jump in, and again, I'm repeating myself, but they cannot fight this type of battle. They need the entire setup. They need the burst. They need the insta-kill. If they don't get the insta-kill, then that is just over. Shad is down, Gad is getting away, Chris is also dying. They are extending too hard. They see kills, they get too greedy, and now they're 3 levels behind. They were totally fine around level 12. They were totally fine heading into level 13, but right now they are completely getting ripped to shreds because they're misplaying their comp. Of course, without a healer lane, I mean, no doubt about that. That's going to be pretty tricky. But the idea behind it, the idea is actually can work. The idea for them is to blow a target away before the fight starts, engage as the team that calls the shot, and use all of their ults at the same time, blow 1 or 2 heroes to pieces, and then take it from there. The problem is that doesn't work if you just feed with 1 hero after another into your opponent and all of a sudden you're 3 levels behind. So while it is an interesting approach, it right now doesn't work for them. And they are far behind. They lost already hit points on the first keeps. They are starting to lose map control. They're 2.5 levels behind. Their only hope is really to win an engagement where they go in with the damage. Chromie is on 29,000 damage, by the way, and this is by far the highest damage on the entire game at this point. So Chris is doing a solid job on his hero. But they die way too often. Shad on Illidan has no support. That is really, to speak of, Smexy is taking the hit here. Chris is really making this work. But still, TeamLiquid needs to be very careful, especially, of course, since Fnatic is already ahead 1-0 in the entire series. So if they have to win 3 in a row, that would be very, very tricky to pull off. Shad, everyone else is starting to move in. We have Breeze already here. Smexy, the rest of them is also in position. They're trying to set up a trap, and this is exactly more the game that they need to play. Keep in mind that they're still very far behind, and that is a massive issue. Shrimpy's at the front. Judgment being used. Hinterland Blast. Cleanse is in. They don't get the kill, and that is going to be a tricky for them right now. Here's the kill against Chromie. She dies first. Shad is rushing away. ENTIRE, they don't get a single kill right now. Sport Billy was trying to at least make something happen. They were behind the entire time by an entire talent and also 3 levels, and this is just too late. They were trying to go for the kill against Shrimpy, and I mean, the idea is there, but they kind of screwed up at level 12, level 13. That's the problem. That's the moment where they fell too far behind. Before that, I feel they could really have made it work. They went for Tyrande, but the cleanse was there. Very well played by Lily. Well, that was actually a really important cleanse. If that cleanse doesn't hit, then Tyrande is absolutely toast. But the cleanse is ready, and they make it happen. So right now, they can just like move through, go for keep number 1. Already the boss is on the move as well. We're seeing Brightwing on the temple as is, starting to jump in once again after absorbing at least a few of the shots. Chromie has her 16, the shifting sands now taken as well. That is going to help at least to get a bit more damage in now too, but I highly doubt that they're going to be able to make a difference here. They need level 16, and Fnatic is so far ahead that they will hit 20 soon enough. They might actually try and just complete, well, they will try and complete the game here, and they might actually be able to pull that off. They have to sustain. The boss alone is going to do damage. Here comes again the combo. The attempt at least, but they don't have level 16. They go for Whoopi and they kill him. The problem is that the core is already losing hit points. There's the Starfall. Down goes ENTIRE. He's trying to get the damage in. Crosby is going to fall, but the boss is still on core. And this is just way too much. Fnatic with game number 2. GG, well played. A 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series here against TeamLiquid. Job well done. Congratulations. Game number 3, everybody. Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Fnatic is ahead in the series with a 2-0 here at Meta Madness. 8 heroes already banned out by default, and Carrigan taken away from Fnatic immediately. Alright, not really the hero that I would have expected for a ban here, but I mean, on Tomb of the Spider Queen, she is getting a lot of value, and I suppose that TeamLiquid has maybe scrimmed with her already a bit. We have still, I think, 3 supports left in the game, and I am very curious to see if we are going to see bans on support again. If anyone, then TeamLiquid might actually take one away now. So Fnatic is in a situation where they can head straight into a pick on any support they want. Well, with the exception of the ones that are banned out. And yes, there it is. The ban on a support, which would leave 2, 1 for each, and that's Malfurion and a Tyrande that can be used right now. So let's see how exactly they're going to run this. Fnatic, first of all. Oh, they're teasing. They're teasing. Yeah, you kind of need that support. If Fnatic doesn't pick a support, TeamLiquid is going to go double support. You can't really afford to do that. And there's Tyrande. So Malfurion is going to be played by TeamLiquid. Like, you have to pick Malfurion now. If you don't pick Malfurion... No, wait a second. Malfurion was banned out. My apologies. Brightwing. Brightwing was the one that's still left. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of one of the earlier series. So, yeah, in the last game we saw Tyrande, Brightwing, and Lily on the same team. Right now, of course, they have to go for Brightwing, not Malfurion. He got eliminated a bit earlier. But you have to make that Brightwing play. If you don't go for Brightwing now, then Fnatic is definitely going to play the double support instead, and TeamLiquid is once again going to play without a support at all. Unless you, from the beginning of the draft, say that you're totally okay with that, it's probably a bad idea. So, Brightwing would be what we kind of expected here. Or what we would expect in this situation. And besides that, I mean, Zool is still there. You could go Zool as a Sylvanas for wave clear. We have Thrall still available, so he could be taken. Zagara was banned out a bit earlier, so she can't be used here anymore. But there's still a couple of wave clear heroes that you could definitely rely upon. This is a totally different series from what we've seen in the former best of 5, which was like very different overall. And it is a Johanna. So Brightwing Johanna, bit of wave clear here for sure for Team Liquid already. And I mean, they're working towards a potential Asmodan, I'd say. Asmodan would, by the way, wreck. Without support, I'm very sure that Fnatic is either going to pick Asmodan or ban him out. And I'm not even kidding here. I mean, if you have no good support and the only thing that you have is a Tyrande, and then your opponent plays Asmodan, you can't afford that. That is going to destroy you. Once he gets some stacks together and is getting serious damage, they're going to poke you to death. So Fnatic, they have to think about it. They have to either pick Asmodan or ban him out. At least I would be surprised if they don't do that. Another hero, by the way, that we still have in the game is Kalthas. Let's not forget that Kalthas is still available. And I could have totally seen Team Liquid go for Kalthas. I think they were a little bit worried about Fnatic picking Asmodan and Johanna. So Fnatic right now with a Thrall, first of all, I like that. Thrall Kalthas would be very, very solid here, I feel. I think it would be very good choices for them, to be quite frank. Thrall alone.
Your loyalty is noted.
Leah, thanks for the sub, dude. One of the things that you have to keep in mind when we're talking Illidan, by the way, since he was picked on the last 2 maps, is that the distance to safety on all of the maps is very huge usually. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's a very short distance. So usually it's not really a hero that we see here too often. We have seen him in the past a little bit more, since once that you take the forts down, it's much better to play with Illidan. You have like a little bit more room to play with. But in the he's not the most popular hero here, so that's one of the reasons why we don't see him as a super early pick. So Lunara is not too shabby either, for the very same reasons of what we talked about with Asmodan. If you lack nice AoE heal, then Lunara and her poison can definitely hurt a lot. Brightwing has, at least to a certain extent, heal that can help, but it's usually not really what you would imagine can deal with Lunara's poison damage. Arthur's banned out, and I would expect a ban still on Asmodan here. With Brightwing, Johanna taken, Asmodan would be one of the heroes that I personally would be worried about if I'm Fnatic. Then again, they have Lunara with the... yeah, there's the Asmodan ban. I mean, that was a given. That was really a given. You needed to go for an Asmodan ban here. And I think Liquid was very well aware that that would happen now. So I'm a little bit curious how Liquid is going to play it now. They have with Johanna and Brightwing already some decent wave play that they can use, especially on Johanna, of course. They could go still for, if they want a bot laner, they could go for... Zul is usually like part of the rotation. I would still see him. Kalthas kind of given, I have to say. I've actually expected Kalthas to be played by Fnatic, but I think it's actually smart that they went into Lunara instead, considering, even though Kalthas is a beast on this map, so I feel both is fine. Oh my god, yes. They played Cho'Gall. We have Cho'Gall in play. Oh, this is so good. Brightwing again with the polymorph is still strong against Cho'Gall, but Cho'Gall has a lot of self-sustain. And on this map, he's great. He's amazing on Infernal Shrines. He's good on Tomb of the Spider Queen. They are playing Cho'Gall there as well. And that is going to be pretty awesome. Fnatic with a Cho'Gall play. Liquid, they have very little on-point damage that can capitalize on, on the hit point pool of Cho'Gall. Percentage damage. I could see Tychus. It might sound silly, but like Tychus Falstad. What else could we see here? Tychus, Falstad. I think that's the best option that you have. Percentage damage against Cho'Gall is like the thing. Tychus is the king when it comes to that. Chen for isolation. I could have theoretically even seen an Anubarak to try and make sure that you use Cocoon. But they go for a Chen. Like, the Chen, I'm not quite sure how much I like that. I mean, okay, the idea with the barrel is kind of appealing, but still. I could have seen like a Tychus because percentage damage is so strong. Then again, he's probably going to attack pretty soon. The question is, can you keep him alive? It's a bit doubtful, but then you could still go for a Nubarak with a Cocoon, or you could go for a Falstad maybe even. They decide to go into a Chen. They're very beefy at the front line, and that's a lot of sustain that they actually have, so that might work out for them. I'm curious to see how Liquid is going to run with this. So, Liquid versus Fnatic, game number 3 coming up now on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Get ready, boys. We're going to head straight into the next map. Game number 3 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And we have Cho'Gall in play again. Fnatic actually with very cool drafts. And this is really just what what Wooby usually does. To the left, Cho is played by Breeze, Smexy on Tyrande, Schwimpy on Thrall. We have Wooby on Gal, and Crosby subbing in for Quacknix, who's currently on vacation. He's playing Lunara. To the right side of the map, on the other hand, we're seeing Team Liquid. They're currently down 2 games in the best of 5 series here. And we have Ethereal Angel on Chen. We see Gadamherd on Brightwing, Shad on Johanna, Sportbilio on Kalthas, and Chris on Zul. And it's actually a very interesting setup that we are seeing here. Personally, I was a bit surprised by that Chen pick at the end. I could have seen so many things happen. A giant killer hero here. Maybe even a Tychus for the extra percentage damage against the hit point pool that Briobi is running here. But yeah, so at this point they're just like dancing around. Both of these teams have been trolling quite a bit in those games. We've seen a lot of dances, a lot of B-steps happening so far. But this is going to be a very, very fun match for sure. Let's see how Cho'Gall is going to have, or if he is going to have a huge impact here, or if Team Liquid can turn this around. When it comes to talents, we are actually seeing Backlash taken. Not really a bad choice considering that they're up against Cho'Gall. That definitely helps already. 15% of Cho'Gall's hit points. That is quite a lot. By the way, we're seeing the Eye of Kirok currently chosen on the side of on the side of Gall. And yeah, I'm a little bit curious to see how exactly the hero is going to come through for Fnatic. He's actually amazing on this map. I mean, the two maps where we most of the time see Cho'Gall up to the Spider Queen and also Infernal Shrines. Basically, whenever you have objectives close to each other or like single objectives on the map, Cho'Gall can really shine. So that kinda really helps you. Besides that, we're having on level 1 the Cruel Spores already taken for Lunara. The battle over the supports, of course, was also quite strong here, and I feel that Team Liquid has actually been doing really well with picking up Brightwing here for themselves. The problem is, of course, that they still kind of need to have some kind of like burst heal, ideally. They don't really have that. It's also going to be difficult to heal out all the damage that Crosby can dish out on his Lunara. I'm very curious to see how Team Liquid is going to run this. Because Fnatic is basically just like showcasing that when it comes to drafting, they are doing an incredible job here. Both of these teams, of course, with a bit of a change setup here overall as well. I mean, we're seeing Ethereal Angel play now for Team Liquid. They were already announced that they are playing with these two. They have Ethereal right now, they have Sportpedia as well. It allows them to just shift a few of the heroes and a few of the roles that they have around to give them a little bit more flexibility for sure here. Level 4 is very close for the two teams. And with this setup, I want to remind everybody once again that, of course, the big idea is that you really run a lineup with which you are able, or that bands are just like carrying over into the next map. So you have to always be careful how you go into the next game and what also the idea is for game number 3, number 4, and so on. So with this, we're having on level 1 the Surging Dash. We're seeing also now Amplified Healing. Actually, after... Oh, they go already forward. Chen is down, though, at the bot lane. And Cho'Gall is able to escape. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate there. With Chen dying at the bot lane, that's also a bit of a nuisance. On level 4, we are seeing the Manic Pixie now taken too. So it's all about the heals here for sure. We're seeing at least Zool with the ability to go between the lanes. And this is like one of the things that I talked about during the draft a little bit. Usually you see Zool as part of the rotation since his wave there is just so absolutely fantastic. He could be a solo laner, but he's just like too much of an asset when it comes to the rotation play in general, so that most of the time you don't see him on the lane alone. We're seeing at the same time now also again Pierce taken. We have rollback on the side of Cho'Gall together with now also the double back taken. The Dread Orb. Third bonus. So besides that, let's have a quick look at Johanna with the Laws of Hope. So a lot of self-sustain on the heroes still. I mean, they realize that with Lunara around, they're going to struggle later on a little bit with only relying on the Brightwing heal, and therefore we have not only the Amplified Healing for Chen, but also Regeneration Mask. The two synergize, of course, quite nicely. And we will also see for Zool the additional sustain thanks to the Skeletons as well. Now up to the top, polymorph against Crosby, but they can't really get too much damage in just yet. And killing Cho'Gall is going to be a very tough thing for them. Amplified Healing on 16 is going to help with that. But yeah, Brightwing is down, and they do just really well. They try... Oh, the stun, and Shad is dead! They try to claim the gems, and they get them, but they are falling behind in experience, and that is an issue. Level 7 is going to be a big deal. Shrimpy already with the attempt to turn in here. Fnatic is currently doing a pretty fantastic job here. And they are looking very strong in general. I've been watching these boys in scrims quite a lot, and they play really solid Heroes of the Storm these days. Even without Quacknix, they are currently doing very well here. Crosby doing an absolutely fantastic job subbing in today for one of the strongest Fnatic players. We're seeing still level 7 now hitting, and with that we're now also seeing the Power Surge taken. We're having at the same time Gall going for the double trouble. We're having also Nature's Culling. I mean, no big surprise there. We're seeing the first Web Weavers coming to play, and that's all for the blue team. So the blue team with the lead in experience, with 3-0 kills, with the Web Weavers moving in, and that is starting to become a bit annoying. Already the Brewmaster's Balancer has been claimed there, but Ethereal Angel needs to be very careful at the bot lane since Tyrande and Shrimpy on his thrall are giving him a very rough time. The top lane pressure is going to be very... Oh, yeah. Oh, close call. The top lane pressure is going to be very annoying because Crosby can really rely on his level 7 talent together with the Web Weavers right now. He can really tell how fast these towers are dying here. Just needs to get a couple of shots in and then let the poison or the acid do its thing. Zool down, kill number 4. Things are starting to look very, very grim for Team Liquid at this point. Yes, Fnatic, they move in, they get a very, very crucial lead here. 9 versus 7 in levels. And they attempt to go for Shed. They won't be able to kill Johanna. Can at least force her back right now. Down to the bottom of the lane, we are seeing Ethereal defending, and I mean, they are only 1 level behind, but this is really one of those things where you have to be very careful. They got the gems to turn in, so if they get that done, then that would be a huge win for them right now. Maybe they can abuse the fact that with Cho'Gall in play, there's only 4 bodies in the map, so they might be able to play a little bit around Fnatic. But if they're getting picked off the map as they currently are, then that's going to be a massive issue. They are attempting to control the points now, though, and we also have Zool moving in. Chris has no gems to speak of. That's one of the big problems here. And he's also in a very awkward situation right now, getting stunned already. Chris moving away here, having Backlash activated for a moment, but not really getting it through. Level 10 is going to hit for Fnatic, so they should be able to get control over the turn-in points. They have 50 gems as is, so they will be able to get a second Web Weaver wave, and this is really where the trouble starts. If 2 Web Weaver waves are hitting you and you can't do anything about it, oh, Gerd gets stunned out. Oh, God. The 5th kill now, and that is, of course, gems. Upheaval has been chosen, the Shadow Bolt volley. We're seeing Shadow Stalk, of course, since Tyrande is the only support, and the Thornwood Vines here. Team Liquid is in a world of pain right now. They're in so much trouble. This is an easy turn-in at any point in time for the blue team, and they're just like delaying it a little bit further. Crosby is already working on the well, and has been mentioning before, with not only Thornwood Vines, but also the Nature's Culling, he is just able to put so much pressure on this. Sport Billy with the Upheaval, and no chance to escape. Breeze dashing Cho'Gall past him and taking him down. Kill number 6 against 0. Level 10 isn't there just yet. And that Upheaval, that was the nail in the coffin for sure. At the bot lane in the meantime, Ethereal is trying to do his thing, but they are falling so far behind and the Web Weavers haven't even done their job just yet. And this is starting to look very scary right now. So level 10 is going to be crucial for them. They need that so badly, and they're finally going to get it. But the mid lane pressure is also now there, as we're seeing Brewby going straight in for the next 4. They have their 10s on the other hand, with a Blink heal, and it's going to help. Phoenix is there, Poison Nova. We're seeing also, of course, the barrel, and maybe they can isolate Cho'Gall with a barrel here. Man, that would be maybe a winning strategy, but for now, they somehow have to stay alive, and that's going to be difficult as is. So at top lane, another 4 down, 1 in the mid lane eliminated, 1 in the top lane has been taken down too, and at the bot lane, Chen needs to be very careful because they are already trying to flank. And they're oh, nice jump, but straight into Lunara. Very little that he can do about that. He even survives, is looking for a kill against Lunara. You could really see that he was attempting to barrel her, but is not able to just close that distance yet. Oh, but there, he gets Thrall, or not. Gets Thrall into a corner. They might get the kill. Sundering is there, and he is going to fall eventually. The first kill for Team Liquid. Maybe now the place. Ethereal jumps in again, but this is now 5 versus 4, and they might be able to run that and finally turn in. They still have the gems, and of course they're looking for an opportunity here. Cho'Gall is trying to interrupt it, as well as Crosby. Ethereal is channeled out, but Lunara eating a lot of damage here. Bone Prison is helping. Keep the 16 in mind. Once the amplified damage is there, they might be able to get those early snipes against heroes like Tyrande or also Lunara. Red Web Weavers, that might be the moment when Team Liquid is finally starting to have a bit of an impact on this game. If they can get a kill against Crosby at the top lane, it would be fantastic for them. They're not able to get close enough to Lunara, though, to use the Bone Prison on Zool. But they have now the opportunity to use the Web Weavers. The problem is that they're running up against level 13 on the Fnatic side. Fnatic with a Molten Block, so much survivability now in Cho'Gall, and they go for Chris, and goodbye, Zool. Zool is down. Upheaval against Brightwing, even with a Blink heal, no survive for Gerd. A double kill for Fnatic is setting things straight once again. And this is them just taking a massive, massive dump on Team Liquid right now. Very unfortunate for them. Unfair advantage now being used. We see the Dread Shield for Cho. We're having, for Gal. We have at the same... These two icons are always like confusing the hell out of me for some reason. I don't even know why. One guy has one eye, the other one has two. Not that hard though. Tyrande taken out now too, and ENTIRE Angel is just like moving away. I mean, the one good thing for them is they have most of their gems recovered. Most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. And they're close to 13. So they're still not quite out yet. But an 8-2 kill score doesn't really bode too well. Let's just leave it at that. Also, when we're talking about damage, I mean, Khaldor hasn't really hit his peak just yet. That's going to be a thing. Zul is going to be very important there. But for now, TeamLiquid is definitely struggling a lot. And Fnatic is playing a fantastic game. I mean, let's not take anything away from them. Because it's not like TeamLiquid is playing a horrible match or anything. It's just Fnatic having very beautiful drafts here and playing them extremely well and very, very controlled. Always the interrupts against the turn-ins. Always controlling the 2 turn-in points as much as they can. 13, close for TeamLiquid. They need that talent. Without it, they can do very little here, but they will get it soon. Shrimp is already waiting for a chance to jump in with a good Sundering. If he can get that set up, then they might be able to get another kill, but now there's the 13, and that gives at least Chen also the Relentless. The backdraft is going to be a huge talent actually for them. Backdraft isn't too bad at all, and we see also the Giant's Curse right now. So that's actually quite a lot of skills that they finally get, where they can also put a bit of additional pressure against Cho'Gath in. So that's going to help them for sure. Same talents. That's really one of those times where you're trying to fight. ENTIRE is waiting for a good barrel apparently. He's waiting for a chance to jump someone that he can barrel in. Now, Cho'Gath is still there. They know that he's going to try and interrupt, but there's the barrel. They waited for Lunara. He misses the barrel for a moment. He's still getting it. He's barreling her away, actually, but the lockdown is ready. Can they get the kill? Yes, Crosby is down. What about Shat, though? Shat on the run, still Sundering. Upheaval, and he's down. A kill for a kill in this case. 16 would be so good for TeamLiquid when they finally have the control thanks to ENTIRE. And yeah, can he jump? He's trying, and he's too late. He was trying to jump to Sport Billy. That didn't work. Fnatic is playing a fantastic game. Great control on their side. So currently we're just like waiting to see how they are going to run this on 13 in particular. But for TeamLiquid, yeah, TeamLiquid is struggling. They haven't taken down a single fort yet. They actually have just barely taken a tower in the mid lane and were able to take one at the bot lane. Another one is just about to fall. But still, when it comes to structures, the advantage of Fnatic is absolutely fantastic. And their level 16 is, of course, going to help them a lot. 16 would be a big deal for TeamLiquid on the other hand, too. Because, well, then they finally would have the option to go for a lot of strong talents that help them against this particular setup. Pressure point would be amazing to put the pressure on Tyrande and also on Lunara. It would be a great talent for them to get. And I mean, besides that, we're also talking, of course, Khaldor here, just thrives once he gets the Sun King's Fury. So that would really help them. But at this point, it's the Twilight Whale that we are seeing for Cho. Gal is going into the Twilight Nova after he went for the Dread Shield here. So a lot of like random damage out there. The Starwood Spears, Ranger taken after the Overflowing Light. And the objective itself is, of course, lending itself more to a full out on attack against the keeps. The important part is that TeamLiquid hasn't lost any keeps just yet. This is really the one thing that we have to stretch again. As long as you don't lose too many keeps, you're fine. If you lose one, then of course you're a bit in trouble. But still, as long as you don't lose too many of your keeps, you can still fight back if you're on even talents again. The big issue is just this massive gap in experience between the two. And Chen had to use the barrel again to get away here. We're seeing once more though, now the pressure play, trying to get a bit of poke in, especially against Thrall. Nice Phoenix. They're defending the mid lane quite nicely. Thing is though that they have still Web Weavers to deal with at the bottom and up at the top. But they haven't really lost anything in forms of keeps yet. Not really a lot of damage against them. They can also put the pressure now in against the Web Weaver down at the bottom of the map, and they slowly start to get more experience. But they cannot afford to die anymore. 10 kills against 3 is just way too much at this point. And these upheavals that we are seeing from Cho are extremely strong. And there it is again, and that is the end of Chen. And Shat might fall too. Not quite, but it's close. But yeah, there's again the upheaval, and that is the big problem. They're always getting dragged into a fight, quite literally, and it just doesn't really do anything. When it talks to damage, I mean, 53,000 already on the side of Thrall, and for Gal, we have right now 51k in damage output. Nobody else is even going to get close. I mean, just look at what Fnatic is doing here right now. TeamLiquid has 18,000 damage on Chen, and that's it. Khaldor doesn't really have an impact at all. He's currently at 15k. Zul at least gets the siege damage in, but it's nowhere near what Lunara currently brings to the table. The keep at the bot lane has already been eliminated, and things are just getting completely out of hand. Fnatic is absolutely dominating this. 11 kills against 3. They are 2-0 in the best of 3 series as well. And things are just getting started because, well, we have not quite another turn in yet for Fnatic, but they are working on it, and they are only missing another 20 gems, and they're going to be ready. When we're talking TeamLiquid, they can maybe finally turn in. They have a lot of gems, especially on Chris. Chris alone has 38 gems right now. There's the barrel again, but it's not doing anything. The barrel isn't doing anything, and ENTIRE is so low, and so is Brightwing. Down goes Chen. Brightwing is about to fall. Bam, that's the double kill, and they're not going to stop there. Schwimpy even escapes on Thrall. He was about to die. This is Johanna dying. There goes Khaldor, and they might get Chris as well. He's barely escaping, but at this point, how is Fnatic going to run it? They're going to go for core. Fnatic is looking to finish the game here. 16 versus 16, and it just did not matter. With 3-4 heroes dead, Fnatic is going in for the kill. Chris, the only one who's still there, he's dancing. He knows it's over. This is game, ladies and gentlemen. Fnatic, they take down TeamLiquid with a 3-0 here in the best of 5. Incredibly well played by Fnatic. Great control. Very well done. And congratulations to an absolutely fantastic victory. Well played here. And the last and final map, Tomb of the Spider Queen won with 16 kills to 3.